Hey, it's me. I am absolutely fascinated by ancient Egypt. To me, there's no place on earth quite like it, and I've had the privilege of visiting some of these places myself. So today, I wanted to make something special, a video on the incredible story of ancient Egypt. Here's what I've been working on. Let's start at the beginning. Imagine standing on the banks of the Nile River. The annual flooding just occurred. The water recedes, leaving behind nutrient-rich silt on the banks. There's an abundance of food, enough to sustain small communities of people. Along the Nile, people settle down. This cycle of the Nile flooding and receding every year created a rhythm of life, one that made it possible for the very first civilization to take root around 3100 BCE. The king or pharaoh who accomplished this unification was likely named Narmer or Menes. He's credited with uniting Upper and Lower Egypt and starting the first dynasty. With the blessing of the Nile and a strong central ruler, Egypt became the world's first territorial state. But where did this empire's love affair with building come from? Well, it started pretty humbly. At first, these settlements were made up of mud brick homes and simple tombs for the dead. But as the kingdom grew and pharaohs consolidated their power, so did their ambitions, and so did their architectural marvels. After about 100 years of rule by the first dynasty, Egypt entered what is known as the Old Kingdom, lasting from 2686 to 2181 BCE. This era is aptly named the Age of the Pyramids. Why? Because the Old Kingdom is when the first pyramids were built. The Step Pyramid of Djoser is considered the world's oldest major pyramid, constructed around 2630 BCE. But soon after, a new type of pyramid was born, one that has become synonymous with Egypt itself. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for the pharaoh Khufu around 2580 BCE, stands as a testament to the ingenuity and might of the Egyptians. It was once the tallest man-made structure on Earth and remained so for nearly 4 millennia. But wait a second. Aren't pyramids just big piles of rocks? Not at all. Building a pyramid required a tremendous amount of organization, skill, and manpower. Teams of engineers planned out the construction, making sure each block was cut precisely to fit. Astronomers aligned the pyramids to the cardinal points of the compass and to the rising and setting of certain stars. Priests kept everyone working in check with divine mandates. For 3 centuries, the pharaohs continued to build these magnificent tombs, only to have it all come crashing down during a period known as the First Intermediate Period. Let's just say there was a lot of fighting and not much building going on, but after about a century of chaos, things settled down, and Egypt entered a period known as the Middle Kingdom. From 2055 to 1650 BCE, rulers from Thebes reunited the north and south and got to work rebuilding. Trade flourished, towns grew, and irrigation projects brought even more land under cultivation. The Egyptian people were thriving, but on the horizon, like a dark cloud, loomed the Hyksos, a group of foreign invaders. After decades of fighting, the Hyksos took control of northern Egypt, ushering in what historians call the Second Intermediate Period. But their rule wasn't all bad. They introduced new technology to Egypt, such as the horse-drawn chariot. Soon, though, native Egyptian kings from Thebes drove the Hyksos out, leading to Egypt's greatest era, the New Kingdom. From 1550 to 1070 BCE, Egyptian pharaohs battled and negotiated with neighboring kingdoms, expanding the empire to the borders of modern Syria in the north and Nubia in the south. During this time, Egypt became a formidable military power. Pharaohs like Thutmose III and Ramses II built up strong armies and went undefeated in battle. Hatshepsut, one of Egypt's few female pharaohs, chose diplomacy over war and expanded trade along the coast of Africa and to the legendary land of Punt. By the end of the New Kingdom, however, Egypt was exhausted from constant warfare. The treasury was depleted, and ambitious rulers were focused more on plundering their neighbors rather than defending Egypt. In the end, Egypt's riches and strategic location enticed invaders who successfully chipped away at the empire. In 332 BCE, Alexander the Great conquered the land and ushered in the Hellenistic period. Then in 30 BCE, Cleopatra, the last pharaoh, lost a battle with Octavian, ending ancient Egypt's 3,000-year run. But Egypt's influence didn't stop there. Ideas and innovations spread throughout the Mediterranean and beyond, thanks to Egypt's advances in mathematics, medicine, and architecture. Egypt gifted the world with the concept of zero, the use of anesthesia, and perhaps most enduringly, the iconic capital letter A. These are just a few of the many ways Egypt changed the world. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, stay tuned. And remember, if you have the itch to learn, there's a course for that.